Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan, and today we're going to talk about how to become a better listener. For me, I thought I was, but clearly, as my wife will tell you, and half the people that know me, they're like, Nathan, you hear me, but you're not listening. And I never understood really what that meant. And I was like, all right, as I sat back and I went throughout my career from working my way up from a supervisor into the management level and the executive level, how can I develop, and where can I find these skills, which was the hardest thing. Because as I went through this journey to try to become these skills, they tried to hit me with crazy concepts, overcomplicatedness, school. And I'm like, I just want to learn how to communicate. I want to learn how to listen. I want to be an active listener. So then I thought about how can I portray that to you guys to get that across, to give you the bare bones basics, very simplistic information to help you guys to say, hey, maybe I can improve my skills just a tad. So again, can't thank everyone enough, and let's get started. The biggest thing and point number one is going to be present, which is the hardest thing to do, right? We have our cell phones, we have life going on, but remember, when you're in a conversation with somebody, you need to give them respect they deserve. They're coming to you for a reason, right? They either A, respect your opinion, they respect what your viewpoint, or you may be, like for me, when being an operations manager, they need to help them solve a problem, right? But again, it's very extremely disrespectful, and it always frustrated me when I was trying to get someone's attention, or even when I'm talking to my wife, seeing it all over the place. Remember, just be present with them. Be engaged in the conversation. Be ready to listen. If you have to, put the phone away. Schedule some time out. But all I'm saying is you have to be present in the conversation to get the full scope of what is going on. Point number two is simply just be open-minded. Many times we get in conversations where we're trying to automatically either A, reply right off the bat, try to solve the problem, or interrupt them. Remember, we are in the conversation, whether it be your personal conversation or professional conversation. We need to be open-minded. And we do this is very simplistic. It's to help us remember, they're coming at us from their perception. We're trying to understand and look at their perception of how things are going. So that's what we're trying to do. So if you're not open-minded and you're automatically trying to think of a response, you're automatically trying to come up with a solution, it will inhibit the actual learning experience, right? We need to make sure of that. Now, remember, there will be a time for you to, they're coming to you for a reason, okay? There's going to be a time for them to have that conversation, to have that input, to have that viewpoint, and to solve problems. Me, I deal with that all the time, and it's one of my biggest struggles because I don't know how to turn off work mode to home mode. And for me, I'm always there to fix problems. It's a part of my job. And sometimes I portray that over at home, and I'm trying to really work on that and just be open-minded and be present with what is going on in the actual context I'm having my conversations. One of the biggest things that I noticed was one of my faults was I always wanted to interrupt, right? And I just wanted, I just wanted to get it off my chest, or I'd be like, sorry not to interrupt. Well, then don't. I've had multitude, Nathan. We want to hear what you have to say, but let's get it out first. And I was like, all right. So I had to really analyze myself and go about that. And that was the biggest problem with me, was I never noticed what I was doing. So that brings me to my third point, which is focus on your actions, how you're responding. Ask engaging questions, not very benign, simplistic questions. Be engaged in the conversation. They want your feedback. They want your opinion. Give it to them, but give it in a way, by being mindful, by being open, that will give us the ability to create a more valuable and engaging conversation versus just simply yep, okay, yep, here's your problem, fix it. That's not helping. Again, your goal in this conversation is, for one, you're there to guide it. Two, you're there to make them feel validated. And again, being validated doesn't mean you have to agree. It's saying that, okay, I can understand your point of view, I just can't agree with it. Or I understand why you did this, but we should have done this. So there's different contexts to how you do it. But maintain these basic, being mindful, being conscientious, and being open-minded, that will give us the foundations to have that really engaging conversation and be able to build that rapport. Understanding when to have small talk in your conversation and when not to have conversation. That is the struggle. Like, for example, for me, what I do is, if I have time to get in that warm-up stage or that rapport stage, especially if I just met them, I will. But there will be times in my life where I'm just here, okay, you're coming to me with a problem, I need to fix it because I have to do A, B, and C right after. So you have to be able to judge. how much attention you're going to give each one. Not all circumstances will require full 100 attention. So you have to be very careful. But I'm not saying blow them off. This is a very little tricky line. Again, the goal of the conversation is for they feel heard and you feel heard. It's very engaging. And I promise you, once you do this, you will enjoy having these conversations. But you have to be inquisitive. If they have an issue, why is it an issue? Why does it bother them? And you have to want to understand them. If you don't, that's the problem. You have to want to be in this conversation. And that's point number 4. You have to want to be there, right? You have to want to be in that conversation and focus on the conversation rather than focusing on everything else that's going on in your life. Because like I mentioned before, you have to understand they are coming to you to help them or to vent or whatever the case may be. They are there for you. They want to be there. They came to you for a reason. They deserve that respect. You deserve the respect. So make sure we're focusing on all the areas. Don't just be so focused on the solution rather than the story. Because remember, we as leaders, managers, husbands, spouse, whatever the case may be, we have to be there and understand the full scope of what is going on to make the best decisions in life. And just to wrap up again, I can't thank everyone enough for the couple followers and a couple viewers that I do get on these videos. I can't thank you guys enough, but I promise you, if you focus on the basics, be present, be mindful, be aware of where you're at, and want to be in the conversation, I can promise you, you will get better results. Not if you want to use it at home from your spouse, your kids, if you're in a management position or you're in a we'll say in a team environment in your job, I promise you it will work. I have used it, I have seen it, and I have been very fortunate enough to see amazing people that I had to work with grow and use certain skills and have them come back to me and be like, Nathan, it actually worked. And to me, that is the greatest thing. So again, guys and ladies, I can't thank everyone enough. Thank you and have a wonderful day.